kind of Salt Lake City, a Rune Cheddar's Pike stalker sort of focused build.
Yeah.
He actually has the 4 Thought Scours and no pros, so we seem to have sort of moved a little bit away from the world of pro.
Yeah, and it's probably for the better in this matchup, where his life total is going to be under some duress.
He has a couple of interesting choices in his deck. He has a single copies of Faith Shield. That's Billy on the right of your screen. Mike is on the left. He has a single copy of Faith Shield, and one card that could come up big if it happens to be drawn in the matchup is a single copy of Batterskull.
Yeah.
So
that card is difficult to defeat.
Absolutely. We've seen Batterskull be a big deal in a couple of matches already today. So the players are shuffling up here. I believe they're
Billy Gogol. Yep. Billy Gogol revealing his local roots with the tie that the Phoenix players have been representing, trying to keep it classy.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
So
maybe
Mike feeling up his 7.
It is 7. Okay. He's not yet chosen if he's going to mulligan. Yeah, and Mike will be on the play, and we are off. So a Swamp into Gravecrawler.
Good start.
Facing an Island of the Delver. Similarly good start.
Yes.
So Gravecrawler comes in.
Probably not going to see a block there.
It seems unlikely.
And a Stormblood Berserker.
Ooh.
And
big game.
I'll tell you right now, Mike's start is important on 2 levels. One is, obviously, he's gone 1-drop into 2-drop, which is great. Secondly, he actually has access to both colors of mana,
right,
which is a big deal. Most of my losses in the Invitational in Baltimore, where I played a similar deck, were just to not having access to red mana.
We actually tested a lot of Black-Red Zombies for Proto Dark Ascension and had similar problems.
Yeah.
In particular, we were trying to build decks that also included Stormblood Berserker because it's just such a powerful 2-drop if you have a bunch of good ones, like the Black-Red Zombie deck is able to play.
Yeah.
The problem being you just had so many games where you didn't have access to red mana on turn 2, so your Stormblood Berserker just sat in your hand. And there, not only does he have the Stormblood Berserker on 2, but he has Geralf's Messenger on 3, which is, the big one.
Right. The thing is, Billy Gogol was able to engineer his
Double Delver
Ponder,
flip.
yeah. And Vapor Snag's about the worst card that can be revealed here from Shippy's perspective.
Right. So Billy is actually down to 13 life. He took 5 on the attack right now. He's going to be able to send 6 in the air.
Should be 11, right?
11, right?
Yeah.
The messenger as well.
You can see Shippy was actually debating on his turn whether or not he wanted to fire off a Brimstone Volley actually on one of the Delvers instead of playing his messenger.
All right. So we're going to see a big attack from Mike. And it looks like Billy's hand is Snapcaster. It looks like other sort of altered ponders. So he's going to Vapor Snag the Stormblood Berserker. He's going to take 5 damage, dropping him to, I believe, 6 life. I think he's at 6, not 7, if my math is correct.
It looks like he's looking at a hand with Tragic Slip, the Berserker, and a couple copies of Brimstone Volley.
That's interesting. So Mike is at
personally, if
13 life now because of the Vapor Snag.
If I was in Shippy's position, I would be casting Brimstone Volley on Gogol's upkeep. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you want to give him the ability to play what is clearly a mana leak in his hand from sort of the line of play.
Yeah.
Yep, and Billy draws a Glacial Fortress, so he's going to be able to. He's going to ponder, and then he has the ability to Snapcaster a Vapor Snag,
yeah, which is
going to be a big deal.
And there's another Snag and a Pike on top, so Billy might actually just be lethal next turn.
So sends dropping Mike to 8 life. Though if Billy has a that volley and if he has that volley plus Tragic Slip, he may just be able to
just punk him out. Yeah, when he goes to
if he's going to try and block, he's
right.
He's just going to be able to kill him. I think he Tragic Slips it, then volleys, and then kills him. Yeah, I think Mike's going to end up winning this. So we're going to see Snapcaster on Vapor Snag. tapping the right mana, hopefully.
There we go.
Yeah, Snapcaster's gonna target Vapor Snag, and then he's gonna try and Vapor Snag that, and then he's gonna get Tragic Slipped, and then volley to the face, and that's the game. So he goes to 4, volley.
And zombies!
There you go.
Yep.
So the zombie deck being on the play that game was huge.
Yep.
On the draw, that game would have gone completely.
Yeah, he would have gotten. Yeah, I actually think he would have gotten crushed.
He would have gotten demolished if he'd been on the draw. But yeah, I mean the sheer damage output from Brimstone Volley there, and the efficiency of Tragic Slip in terms of removal were both very important.
Yeah.
If that had been Incinerate and say Doomblade, that game actually would have resolved very differently.
Yeah, that's the I think when building the zombie deck, the most difficult thing is you want to have a lot of burn spells, obviously, to give you your standard bit of reach for your beatdown deck. Mm-hmm. The other side of it is there's a lot of, if you play all burn spells, if you're just Brimstone Volleys and Incinerates, there's a lot of cards you just flat out cannot beat.
Right.
Like you can't, someone plays Invisible Stalker plus piece of equipment, you're done. Or, Guys the Same Trap can present the same thing. A Batter Skull, you're done. So you want to have a couple edicts or banish effects to get yourself out of those positions, but you don't want so many that your hand is clogged up with just removal spells that you can't send your opponent's face.
You gotta find the balance.
Right. And it looks like Shippy's list only has 4 Brimstone Volleys. I personally am a fan of Incinerate in the list as well, but he's playing Tragic Slips on top of Geth's Verdict as his banished suite.
So looking at the sideboards, how do you think Shippy ends up sideboarding this?
I think that he wants a Go for the Throat. I think he wants his 2 Nile Spell Bombs, and I believe he wants his. I think it's very likely he'll want his Manic Vandals.
Okay. You don't think maybe Ratchet Bomb?
I think if you see black and you're confident there's Lingering Souls, then you absolutely want it.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit dodgier. I think it's a card where on the draw it's a lot more attractive. On the play and in the absence of Lingering Souls from the opponent's deck, I think you would not want it. But on the draw where you had to take sort of a more defensive stance anyway, it's likely you want to put that card in.
Well, he is in the draw this game.
Yeah. I think for this game, if there's any game he wants it, I think it's this one.
Okay.
I would be surprised if it were in his deck on the play.
Sure. Billy, on the other hand, has a pair of Celestial Purges, which are pretty clearly
Very
coming
good.
in. Also a pair of Timely Reinforcements, which I would be shocked if those didn't also come in.
And the Oblivion Ring as well gives you a good answer.
Yeah,
the
Oblivion Ring
messenger,
is a good all-purpose.
nice
sort of,
clean answer. Yeah.
Get rid of your big guy. As far as cards to take out, this is actually a matchup where I think Gut Shot seems pretty poor. You certainly don't want to be damaging yourself. Doesn't kill much other than Gravecrawler.
He has a Highborn Ghoul in his deck, he has 2 copies of Highborn Ghoul in his deck, which are excellent if there is no Gut Shot, but he doesn't even know that card's in his deck necessarily.
Right. And he is also bringing in Celestial Purge, which can remove it.
Yes.
Mana Leak, I think, is pretty bad here.
Yeah.
I think that on the what do you think about the? I think you certainly don't want Mana Leak on the draw. What do you think about wanting it on the play?
Actually, I mean, my experience was actually that Mana Leak wasn't too bad against me because my deck probably had too many 3s.
Sure.
And too much going on at 2 and 3, and not enough stuff going on at 1. I think you're probably right. I think it's good on the play, and I think that it's poor on the draw. But you have to make cuts somewhere, so it just might have to go
Right.
period. I think a card, and this is obviously me slaughtering a sacred cow here or whatever, I think that one of the cards that's really dodgy in the Delver deck against zombies is Delver itself.
Sure.
So many of your other threats are basically immune to spot removal.
Yeah.
And Delver is just there's Fume Spitters and Mortapods, all these things that just let the zombie deck trade very profitably.
I can see that. At that point, can you even afford to have Vapor Snag in your deck if you don't have Delvers?
It is dodgy. It is definitely dodgy.
Like I could see possibly going with a plan of actually cutting your Delvers and Snags and putting in like Celestial Purge, Timely Reinforcements, maybe Phantasmal Image, Dungeon Geist.
Yeah.
But being able to image your opposing messengers is okay.
So back to the action here. Gogol leads off with a turn 1 Ponder.
My inclination is that maybe you don't want Delver on the draw, but you may still want it on the play.
Right, because a lot of the cards, like Mortapod being able to catch it on the play for sure.
It's very different.
Yeah,
it's very different. And you have the potential to flip it before your opponent could. If your opponent wants to kill it with, say, even a Tragic Slip, they'll often need to Tragic Slip turn 1 and miss their 1-drop. Ooh, so a Mountain turn 1.
Basic Mountain. There's 1 copy in the deck along with the 8 red duels. for Faithless Looting, and he drew a Manic Vandal among some other cards. So,
And we do see a pike in Billy Godol's hand. So
yep, discarding an Edict, and all right. So we're gonna see an end of turn
surgical. What is he surgicaling?
Gravecrawler, and there's
okay.
another one in the hand. It looks like.
Ooh.
So that's pretty awesome.
And there's a swamp.
A swamp, a slip, a brimstone volley, and a messenger.
A very uncastable messenger.
Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't really thought about surgical extraction. That makes a lot of sense if you're trying to fight the Gravecrawler.
One of my opponents in the Invitational brought in.
Yeah, like he has one copy, which is actually about the number that I could see realistically bringing in. We were actually, we were talking earlier about the whether you want one or more copies of a card. Billy actually only has the single copy of Surgical Extraction, but I could imagine, say, having 2 copies of Surgical Extraction, but only wanting one for this matchup.
Yeah. Although I think that Billy probably would want to wait until the draw step next time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree that you want to get the chance to get even more value out of it,
and more information.
Though there is the possibility that he can plan his own turn better by surgical
with the information. Yeah,
but. Like, for instance, like if he surgicals now, he probably isn't going to cast that pike because that pike is open to the threat of being killed by Manic Vandal. So, granted, I don't know if that's his thought process, but it's totally reasonable if that is.
Yeah.
So he draws a Mana Leak and plays the pike anyway. So Mike draws. It is not a castable spell, I don't think.
I think it was a swamp, but I can't quite tell.
And we draw another pike. And Geist.
So this is potentially playing right into a Manic Vandal.
Yeah, this... I would not have played Pike. You're just getting Manic Vandal, and it's just gonna... yeah. I don't really know what was happening there. So Billy draws... Cannot pike up his... Can't pike up that.
Batterskull, another Geist, and a Seachrome Coast.
Looks like his hand is Snapcasters.
He has a Leak, another Pike. Some other cards I can't...
I don't know that he wants to keep this. He wants Batterskull. Batterskull's awesome, clearly.
Yep.
But the second Geist isn't very good. It looks like he's keeping it.
I mean, the second Geist lets him basically just trade off here, hold up Mana Leak.
Does 4 damage. He's sort of just down a pike for no reason.
Yeah.
All right, so
Diagraph Ghoul.
Mana Leak it. I guess if you're gonna have Mana Leak, in your deck, you gotta use it when you can. And Geist.
There's a Swamp, which will let us get a Messenger online.
Though he's going to take a big kick in the teeth from a piked up Geist. So Billy down to 16. Mike also at 16. Pike that Geist does 1, 2, 3, 4,
6, 7,
10
8,
damage.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I count 10.
Yep. So Mike goes down to 6 life from a single hit.
This is another stumbling block that I found playing the deck was equipment on Hexproof Creature is just a very difficult setup to get out of.
And does not look like Mike has a Verdict in his hand, or else I imagine it probably would be
he has to basically
resolved by now.
There's a Falcon Wrath Aristocrat.
All right. That attacks. So Mike will... I'm not sure.
Through Delver.
That attack's weird. Because he can actually... If he doesn't attack there, he can actually block and make his guy indestructible and kill the Geist. Because it's indestructible, it won't die to first strike.
Yep.
So instead, Mike goes to 2 from the Angel hit. And now there's a Moreland Haunt threatening to be very dangerous as well. Oh. All right,
Slip.
so Tragic Slip takes out the Delver.
So if he attacks, his only hope here is that Billy basically makes a Moreland Haunt token at the end of the turn and allows him to Brimstone Volley him out.
Yeah. And nope, I will Mana Leak you. I'll attack you. All right.
So Shippy actually has some shot there if he just passes and just hopes that he Moreland Haunts.
Right.
And if he goes to his turn, you can still just try to Brimstone Volley him in the upkeep for lethal.
Right.
So you're not really costing yourself anything, and you're giving Gogol an opportunity to make a mistake.
From that line of play that you've already taken, yes.
Right.
So the I still think that the Aristocrat Go would have potentially put him in a better spot there. I guess playing Aristocrat, it could be Aristocrat attack you with the what's it, the can't remember his name, Messenger.
Yeah.
Aristocrat attack you with Messenger lets you block Geist instead of well, he block Geist anyway, but kill it by sacking the guy to it. You end up in the exact same board position, except you've done one more damage and killed Geist.
Yeah.
The interaction between First Strike and Indestructible is very different than the interaction between First Strike and Regeneration, which is, I think maybe what he was sort of thinking was like, I can stop my guy from dying. It's like, hey, your guy still gets to kill his because he wasn't died at First Strike.
Or the man just likes to attack.
Yeah,
can't fault him for that.
Sometimes you just want to attack. So, going to game 3, we have Billy on the play this time. And we saw he didn't take the sort of radical approach we were talking about before with the potentially taking the Delvers out of his deck.
Yep.
For game 2, so I seriously doubt we'll see them missing in game 3.
Yeah, I don't think he really went back to his board, so I think he's keeping his configuration the same. So where are you making cuts exactly? I guess it's just Gut Shot that's coming out of the deck?
Yeah, Gut Shot seems like the weakest card. I mean, maybe you're shaving some number of Mana Leaks.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that he had Surgical Extraction in his deck, so I have to imagine that he has Celestial Purchase and Timelies as well. Maybe Sword of War and Peace comes out. We saw him draw 2 Pikes, so certainly not there.
Yeah. Although now that he knows about Manic Vandal, maybe it's time to bail.
Maybe. Pike just can do so much damage, just like
it's a haste card,
yeah. It's actually very cheap and can do like 7 sometimes. So.
Yeah, I guess we're here. It looks like Shippy's going to give one last check here about he wants to sideboard differently.
Yeah, even if you think that there's no chance that you want to make changes in your sideboarding, it's very often correct just to look at your sideboard between games and at least present the possibility. Sometimes even take a card out that and put the same card back in.
Right.
Just to give your opponent the sort of read that you may be making changes.
Yep. Because Shippy's, he could very well be thinking that Mana Leak is good on the play and bad on the draw. So if Gogol were to go and pretend to side out his Mana Leaks, for example,
right,
that could be a huge edge if Shippy's going to play the game under that presumption.
Yeah, it definitely makes things a lot different.
So, looks like Shippy's about ready to go here.
Players with a bit of friendly banter, it looks like.
The one extraction was super sweet that game.
Yeah, that was definitely a big deal. Got the Gravecrawler both out of the yard and in the hand. Extraction is the sort of card that you often need to have that sort of situation come up in order for it to be valuable enough in a lot of the situations that people play in anyway. Against Gravecrawler, certainly, just getting rid of Gravecrawlers for good. That game actually, the amount of impact that had was actually fairly low. Specifically the Gravecrawler from the yard. The Gravecrawler from the hand was a big deal, but there wasn't really a point when the Gravecrawler being able to be played from the yard would have been all that relevant, I think.
It does not come up a lot in this matchup.
Yeah. Mostly just a 2-1 for 1. Shippy with a big sigh, looking at his deck. Sign of a man who's mulliganing. I'm right.
Gogol appears to be keeping 7. And mulliganing is actually really rough for the zombie deck again because you just have so much issue with your mana base in general.
Yeah.
He even drew the 1 mountain for his Faithless Looting and then ended up not being able to cast his Messenger on turn 3 because he had Mountain Swamp.
Yeah.
The Stormblood Berserker is a sweet dude. He's certainly better than the Walking Corpses I was casting, but I do have my apprehensions about just what it does to your mana.
It is pretty ambitious to have 9 red sources and try and cast Stormblood Berserker, and it's, as we saw in that game, can certainly come up. Your one mountain keeps you off of casting the Geralf's Messenger. All right, so Shippy opens with a Swamp and no turn 1 play. Billy also with no play. Shippy has the Highborn Ghoul.
Yep.
I think the flavor text of that says something about like it doesn't matter how rich you are when you die and you're still a zombie. I don't know. kind of. That's the gist of it, at least.
This is one of the matchups where this guy shines. If there's no gut shot, then it's just
he's just this evasive monster. And Billy's hand looks pretty slow.
Yeah, it looks like
I see a Midnight Haunting. I don't actually see a play for turn. Oh, he has a Pike. Okay.
Which he might not even want to play out there because if he lets his opponent curve into Manic Vandal, the game becomes pretty bad.
Pretty brutal. Though, you might want to anyway. I can't really. I didn't really get a good look at like what his curve looks like, but he's going to have very few turns that he wants to spend that mana. I think. Like if his opponent has a Manic Vandal, sometimes you just have to say, "All right, you have it."
Yeah, but it's also letting him bluff Mana Leak too.
Yeah, that's true. There is that. Oh, all right.
Ambush Viper.
I like the Ambush Viper there.
Yep.
I actually do.
Just your timely reinforcements, which is devastating.
I think that was Faith Shield actually.
Oh, that's a Faith Shield?
Which is much less devastating.
Yeah.
Faith Shield seems like a peculiar card to have in your deck in this matchup. Maybe it's good. Geist. The Geist with the Mice? No, he doesn't really have that.
No, it doesn't.
So those 2 Hybrid Ghouls are a pretty fast clock.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Billy is under a lot of pressure already.
Don't block. Whatever your instinct is, don't block. Get those guys in there.
Yeah, attack him.
Please don't sit back on defense.
Yeah. As the zombie player, you want to be. Oh, it looks.
Oh
God! Your zombie's scared of dying. He's a zombie.
Yeah, he's not. He's like he's basically immortal, right?
He's a zombie.
Yeah, he's a zombie.
I mean, to be fair, he would be trading 2 for 6. Essentially.
I understand.
But I mean, here we're just gonna see Dungeon Geist totally put like.
Yeah, this is.
We're gonna see Dungeon Geist come down here. This is what I would do from this position: is cast Dungeon Geist. Oh, maybe not.
No.
Maybe he just wants to trade. Oh, he's gonna Faith Shield.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I can see that.
All right, he gets to cash in.
And then he's gonna. I don't even know if I agree with that though. I think you may still want to
just Dungeon Geist.
Yeah, play the Dungeon Geist.
Has Midnight Haunting. This makes it pretty attractive.
It makes it pretty similar. I guess he still has Dungeon Geist next turn, potentially for Geralf's Messenger.
I think we just ripped a Dragon Skull Summit, which turns on our Noble here, or Aristocrat rather.
But which is not going to be happy to find Midnight Haunting waiting. That's that sound effect versus brains.
Yeah, we gotta sell this once and for all. Which one's better? Dungeon Geist is such a beatdown.
All right, so yeah, he sacks the messenger.
So it's 4 points total, 2 from the rebuy and then 2 from the.
So he takes total 2 damage. He loses 2 life, and now we're gonna see. I imagine the Dungeon Geist is going to lock down the Falconwrath.
And I think he just ripped a snag too, and I think that's going to make this race basically insurmountable.
Is he actually just killing him? If he has snag plus pike.
It appears so.
He seems to at least be acting like he's killing him.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep.
You probably would want to equip the guy who he can't possibly target, but there you go. All right. And yeah, boom, boom, boom. Fists in the air. So,
Billy Gogol wins 2-1, probably in a position I would assume to draw into top 8 at this point.
Yeah, he's definitely good position. I don't know just how his tiebreakers are looking. I know that I've been in a similar position in one of these Star City Opens before and had to